your boy young I give him that thing. Control like stay the Panchi America. Banyi dual the banaban. Control like stay the Panchi America. Banyi dual the banaban. Walk on your leg. Kankaro watana watching. Oga level leg. Gear pow. Very leg. Panda with ya Panchi America. Banyi dual bana. Chingitongo pandon kujura baya cheka. Papu panda juru wadia di dual. Panchi America, Banyi Dual, Banaban Pantaleg.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are tuning in today in Lagos State Media Show. We have some breaking news that we will be sharing with the Red Army Foundation Chairman, Mr. Deng, and also the CEO of Lagos State Media, Bolmakur Aishen. I will give you the chance to greet the audience first before we go to why we are here.
Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate you for the introduction that you have made. Today we are live with the leader of the Red Army, Mr. Deng, and on our platform. Also, we will be joined by other Lagos State media hosts, and from there we will continue the show. Deng, I welcome you to this platform. I know that this is not the first time you've been with us. You've been with us before, and today you reach out to us so we can bring you to life because you have a media document that you want to release and talked about it so everybody understand what is the position of the Red Army. So I will yield back the floor to Isaac to give you a chance to introduce yourself and also give a preview and brief about this interview, and from there we will continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Banjbol Makur. I need to also, before I introduce the chairman, Dengbul, I would like to play something. Who are Red Army and what is the Red Army? What does it mean? That thing is something that we need to play a little bit video clips, and from there we will come up.
عشان كده ما عندي كلام كثير لكم اكثر من انا اقول لكم SPLM ويه SPLM ويه هاي ويليام يون هاي اركان يا مرايا سنجي ويه صباح الخير صباح النور يقولوا على كلام بتاعنا بيكون كلام بسيط عشان ناخذ فرصه للغايه العام. لأننا نبقى دكتورين في ناس ومن برجع ناس ورا. عشان الكلام الحقيقي انت ما ممكن تنسى حقوق وانت تقول انا سوري. الكلام ده كلام عجيب جدا. نحن ماشيين قدام ونحن جينا هنا قدامكم هنا. نحن ما بتكلم كثير. في كل سنه بيجينا لنا من الناس في خرطوم اولاد البلد كل زول هم راكبين جمل واحد ده يقوم وده يركب ونحن بننزل وده يركب لا هم ينتهى وشكرا.
Thank you so much for this short, brief video of the genesis of the Red Army, where the Red Army started. I will welcome my brother, comrade Deng to Lake State Media once again. Please introduce yourself to the public and our audience followers, and why we are here for the immediate press release that you have called.
Thank you very much, managers of Lake State Media and the host of this show. I thank you very much for giving me and the Red Army this opportunity. I'm not going to talk much because there are a lot of things that I have to get back to. But I wanted to participate in this show by giving you some background information on how we got here. First of all, I want to enlighten you and all the viewers here about the Red Army program between the 1980s to 2005. It was a program that was instituted by the leadership of the SPLM SPLA, and that was with the division of Mormor and a lot of other divisions and battalions and camps and units of the Red Army followed until 2005. The whole purpose of the Red Army program was basically to mobilize children from all over the Sudan, train them politically and militarily. Those who are mature enough can be taken to war and help in the liberation struggle. Those that are still young can continue with their political and military training. That was the whole purpose. So basically, the Red Army program was a garden that the SPLM had planted and harvested every year for the good of the movement. It was also a program to prepare young people for future leadership and nation building of the new Sudan. Many Red Army participated in the liberation struggle in front lines, also diplomatically outside the country, and also many of them, especially those who were in refugee camps and IDP camps, their food was actually used to feed the army and other civilians. So the Red Army did a lot historically in the liberation of the Republic of South Sudan. That's the Red Army program. No doubt, and no one in South Sudan is doubting the historical contribution of the Red Army during the liberation struggle. Many people say that the Red Army are indeed the reason why we have the Republic of South Sudan, because by 1997, Judge Aswad had actually finished. Not all of them, but majority of them had phased out. Many of them had died. Many of them were wounded. Many of them had already deserted or given up. So the Red Army, those who were young in the 1980s and the early 1990s, took over the war and accomplished the mission. By that time, many of them had started going outside the country. These are the people who lobbied the international community so that they rally behind the movement to bring about the CPA. And this is why we had the referendum. We also defended it until we got our independence. The second point is the formation of the Red Army Foundation. Since 2005, following the unfortunate death of our first commanding officer, the late Dr. John Garang Damabil, the leadership, the current leadership of the SPLM, SPLA, and now the leadership of the Republic of South Sudan did not revise the Red Army program, did not include it in the structures of the SPLM as a party, of the SPLA as an army, as a national army, and also the government of then Southern Sudan, or now the government of the Republic of South Sudan. Therefore, the history of the Red Army, the existence of the Red Army, and everything to do with the Red Army was forgotten from 2005 until about 2010, 2011, when few Red Army began sitting together and began organizing small events and forming different organizations. By 2012, we had come together on the 29th of July 2012 in Nyakuren Cultural Center for a 2-day conference beginning on the 28th. And by the 29th, after deliberations, we decided to amalgamate all our small associations and formed a grand foundation that was named the Red Army Foundation. That was on the 29th July 2012. And there was a reason why it was formed on that particular day, and that is to honor the late Dr. John Garang Damabir, who was our first commander, and it was the day that the Red Army saw him alive before his demise on the 30th of July 2005. So at that particular time, the Red Army Foundation was formed. It was blessed by His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit as a historical foundation to preserve the legacy of the Red Army's participation in the liberation struggle, as well as that of the SPLM and that of the SPLA. And from there, we declared His Excellency the President, Salva Kiir Mayardit, as the patron of the Red Army Foundation, having taken over from the founding chairman, Dr. John Garang Damabir. He remained and still remains today, and I'm referring to His Excellency General Salva Kiir Mayardit as the commanding officer of the Red Army of South Sudan. From 2012, we did a lot. We revived the historical morale of the SPLM, SPLA through the Red Army. We celebrated, we observed all the days, including the 16th of May, the 9th of July, and going all the way to the 30th of July, of course, the Red Army Day, and then the 18th of August, which is Veterans Day. We have actually had a lot of programs within the SPLM, with the SPLA or SSPDF, and we have supported the government politically through many rallies and all this. We have held several events, and these events that we have held over the years have made the Red Army Foundation or the Red Army a household name all over South Sudan. Our patriotism, our commitment has been known, and our history is revived. So there's no question about who Red Army is, who are the Red Army, and the intentions of the Red Army. We have also, as members of the Red Army, have done so much for our citizens and our Red Army over the years. And this is also known based on all the programs that we have had. In 2005, we saw that something was lacking, and that is the participation of the Red Army politically. When we were young, when we were in Ethiopia, in Penyindu, in Dima, in Itang, in Tarpam, in military camps, in Bango, in Bilfam, Polotaka, many other places in Kapoita, all the places where the Red Army were trained or were educated, in refugee camps, IDP camps, and military camps. We were both military and political people. That's why our songs were very, very political. The two groups that have sung very prophetic songs are the More Division and the Red Army. So we were very political people. So that's why we wanted to participate politically in the SPLM. We asked the SPLM to institute what we call the SPLM Red Army League in order to create a political space where the Red Army can continue to support the mission, the political mission and vision of the SPLM. Luckily, after a lot of struggle, because some people had a problem with that, because they are afraid of the Red Army presence in the SPLM, thinking that they will take over the SPLM and dislodge those who have come late and hijack the party. But we compelled them with very good reasons, and they accepted. So we created the SPLM Red Army League in 2015. We've done a lot. We revived the historical morale that is lacking in the SPLM. As you know, no one sings in the SPLM because the SPLM of today is not the SPLM of 1983 to 2005. It's a different SPLM. When you say SPLM Oye, they say Oye. SPLM Oye, they say Oye. You can almost see the people who came from the liberation background. When you say SPLM Oye, they repeat SPLM Oye. So our SPLM of today is completely different, and that is why we are getting a lot of resistance. We are not recognized, and the people we find there also are people that we cannot recognize. I'm not talking about all of them, but you can say the most powerful, the most connected, are not from the liberation background, hence the problem that the Red Army is facing today. SPLM Red Army League has failed within the party because it has been frustrated every now and then. So in 2018, we went to Lebanon as part of the SPLM leadership retreat, and we presented what we call the Red Army position paper on the state of the SPLM. In that paper, we presented very well what SPLM was, what it is now, and what it can become. We made some recommendations. This document was widely distributed. It was discussed by some members. Unfortunately, it was not adopted, and there were no comments that were given by the leadership. We also made some comments as leaders of the SPLM, and we made it very clear on December 3rd, 2018, that the Red Army can be a very good tool for the SPLM, can be a blessing for the SPLM, can be an opportunity for the SPLM to transform itself into a viable political party that can last for years. If the Red Army program is instituted again, and that if the Red Army members who were brought up by the SPLM, SPLA, trained very well, are utilized now with all their skills, their energy, and their loyalty to the party. We also say that if the Red Army is not taken care of very well, if the Red Army program is not instituted, those who have the skills, those who have the knowledge, those who are loyal to the party are not taken care of, they will leave the party and they will be useful to other political parties. These statements were not taken very well by the leadership of the Secretariat. And since we came back about almost 4 years ago, the Red Army Foundation began having problems. And that's why you saw that we had problems before. These problems and these people that were creating trouble, even until today, and they have revived after seeing this press statement, they have now come up again. The problem had ended, but I am sure and I'm thinking that the SPLM leadership, especially at the Secretariat, has instigated them again, because what they don't want is to see the Red Army unite and come to the SPLM. Because whenever they see even one Red Army, one SPLM, SPLA Red Army come to the Secretariat or to the SPLM house, they're always afraid to see this person. Because one of the programs, anytime we hold one program or one event at the SPLM, it overshadows all that the SPLM Secretariat does. They hate that, and that's why they don't want us. So it's very clear they don't want us. But we cannot leave the Secretariat to them. It is our party. We are the children of the party. We are the bone marrow of the party. Therefore, if there's a problem in the party, it is us to fix it. We are the seeds of the nation. So if we are going to have a country that we can call our own, that we can pass on to the next generation, it is the Red Army that will plant those seeds. And also, we are basically the custodians of the SPLM, SPLA vision. The people that are the Secretariat at this particular time are not the custodians of the SPLM, SPLA vision. And that's why our government is having problem, because the people at the secretariat, those who are willing have no power, and those who have the power are not willing. They don't want the Red Army. They don't want anyone from the liberation background, and they don't want to support His Excellency the President lead the country perfectly. They have caused a very, very bad embarrassment to the SPLM and to the people who went to the bush and fought for 21 years. They have let down all our martyrs, and this is why we have a problem. So we, the Red Army, and people from the liberation background have to take our SPLM back with its leaders, meaning we want to get to the secretariat and begin making policies and advising our leadership and working for our leadership, rally behind His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit, so that he's not blamed for all the problems that are happening in this country. That's the reason why we want to go. In 2021, early this year, February the 15th, we wrote to the Honorable Gemma Nunu Kumba, who is still until today, although she has been appointed Speaker of the Parliament. She was appointed on the 23rd of July, almost 3 weeks ago, or almost 4 weeks ago, to be the one heading the new Parliament. Unfortunately, until now, she has not been relieved. I call upon the Honorable Speaker, Comrade Gemma Nunu Kumba, to do the right thing and the honorable thing and leave the party alone. Resign immediately and go to Parliament. You cannot continue to be the problem of the SPLM and of the Red Army. Okay? So please resign immediately and go to Parliament and begin carrying out those businesses. You cannot hold these two senior positions at the same time. You can resign, and then someone at the Secretariat can act until His Excellency the President and his advisors and those that are with him right now can make a better choice. I have already called many people within the political bureau, including Comrade Daniel Wedakut, Comrade Magni Poch, and I've made it very clear to them that their choice for the next acting deputy, the acting SG, or the next deputy SG, will determine the future of the SPLM. It will also determine whether the Red Army will have good working relationship with the SPLM or not. We were very disappointed with the last acting SG in the person of Comrade Gemma Nunu Kumba, and we think, and I'm not the only person, a lot of people from the liberation background are happy and praised God that she's gone. And I hope she's gone for good, that she continue to lead that parliament. We really don't care, but we wanted to have our party back. We want to have the next leader of the secretariat, somebody who is not going to discriminate against anybody or play favoritism among the children of the SPLM. So that one, we wish her the best of luck in Parliament, and we are happy that our party is finally free from those politics of division, and we call upon His Excellency the President to take his time, perhaps allow somebody to act while he makes his wise decision of bringing someone who is going, if it's a woman, we want a mother who is going to care for all the SPLM children. If it's a man, we want a father who is going to care for all the SPLM children. Somebody that is going to revive the spirit of the SPLM, someone who is going to call on all those who are at home, disappointed and hopeless, to come back to the SPLM and deliver the promise of the SPLM and support you, Your Excellency, so that we don't embarrass our party. So we call for a dialogue with the SPLM because of the circumstances, because of all the things that we had seen. We wanted to make sure that across the table will be the leadership of the Secretariat. And on this side of the table are leaders of the Red Army. We sit together and discuss matters of our party, our historical party. We, the Red Army, are historical comrades and partners in nation building. We have a stake in this nation. So anyone who says or think that we, the Red Army, cannot talk politics in this country or cannot participate in politics is wrong. We have helped this government and this party politically from 1983 until today. So therefore, it is our right for us to help our party. It's our right to be part of the SPLM. Now, many people have asked that we have consulted with a lot of people when we called for a dialogue, and especially when we said that if dialogue is not accepted, then we'll make some declarations. Many people have told us that there's nowhere you can go to. You are children of the SPLM. How can you leave the SPLM? Well, if our father and our mother cannot talk to us in our own house, even in our house we are denied food, water, word of wisdom, and fellowship, and everything that is our right, then there's no need for us to stay in that house. The best thing for us to do is to move out and go and build another house. The SPLM will continue to remain our mother. We will take with us, as Red Army, we'll take with us our historical leaders. We will continue to have them in our hierarchy. His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit will remain our patron and commanding officer, whether we are in the SPLM or not in the SPLM. But the humiliation that has been done to the Red Army by the Secretariat from 2005 until today is more than any oppression that the Arabs or the Khartoum regimes have ever done to the Red Army. We've never been humiliated. And it is more painful that the oppressors of today are our own people in our own country and in our own party. So we, the members of the Red Army Foundation and the leadership, have called for an immediate dialogue with the SPLM National Secretariat leadership immediately, so that we can resolve the issues that are enshrined in the Lobanok position paper, as well as the one that was submitted on the 15th of February 2021, calling on the SPLM to convene a dialogue between the SPLM and the Red Army. Now, what are the available options if the SPLM does not call us for any dialogue anytime soon? And that is possible because our people have failed to dialogue. Recently, on the 23rd of July, while listening to Comrade Gemma Nulukumba, she discouraged anyone, any member of the SPLM, taking issues of the SPLM to social media. I was so, I could not believe what I was hearing when she knows very well that she was not responding to people who have officially written to her. She has ignored the advice of many people at the Secretariat to meet with the Red Army to convene a dialogue. And then she had the audacity to announce and to say and to suggest in front of all the SPLM leaders and the nation that people should not go to social media because people can easily come to the SPLM and discuss all these things in the spirit of comradeship. I wish I had the opportunity to respond to her, but due to my respect for her and the nation and His Excellency the President, I kept quiet. And that was completely wrong because there was no reason for her to mention such a word when the document of the Red Army amicably, friendly, and peacefully requesting for a dialogue has been in our office for more than 6 months without any response. Our options as members of the Red Army Foundation, if we don't hear anything within the next 2 weeks from today until the 30th of August 2021 is that two things are possible. One, if we are called by the SPLM National Secretariat to sit down and talk, all will be well. We'll shake hands with the SPLM, and then we will begin to help our party. We'll begin to help our president. We'll begin to help our nation immediately. This will energize all the Red Army all over the world. This will mobilize all of us. We will celebrate being welcome to our mother party and to be recognized. Because at this particular time, there's no recognition, there's no appreciation for the work that we have done, and there is no commissioning of the work that we can do. If the SPLM failed, there is a possible exit strategy. We, the Red Army, at a party that we fought for, the one that we built, the one that our comrades, our fathers, our mothers, our grandfathers, and everyone who came before us built, that we have actually sacrificed our lives, our limbs, everything, and now the trauma. If all these are not met, we will move out and form our own political party that will definitely carry the vision of the SPLM, SPLA forward. And the people of South Sudan will, especially people from the liberation background, will have a party they can call their own, a party that they can identify with, a party that will be led on the principles of the liberation struggle, not on assumptions, not on appeasements, not on accommodation, because the Liberation Party is not a charity. You cannot accommodate people in it because you have to. You cannot integrate people into a Liberation Party. A Liberation Party is different from a conventional party. It is only those who are cadres. It is those who are trained. It is those who have the political ideology that are actually made leaders of the party because they know what they are doing. They know why the party was founded. So we have no problem. We wish that the SPLM would not resist us wanting to be in our party, to help them with all the skills, the knowledge, the time, the energy, and the love for the country, the love for our hierarchy in the SPLM. We wish they will not resist that, and they will call the SPLM Red Army, the SPLM, SPLA Red Army, to come home and help with party and nation building. If that does not happen, because there is a possibility that it cannot happen, because our people, the SPLM, people in the SPLM are used to conflict, they prosper in conflict, and they refuse to talk because they know if they call us, we will not work out without a deal. And that deal will displace people, and they don't want that. So it is better we are ignored and we leave the party. They don't care about the country because all they want are their jobs and whatever they can loot through the party using the legitimacy of the party and fooling our president that they are loyal, that they love the president. When the country is suffering, when the president is getting attacked all over the place, they're the ones who have failed the president, and the president should let these people go. Should the president choose them and want to side with them and say that the Red Army have no right to demand being included in the structures of the SPLM or any other excuses like we are young or whatever it is, Mr. President, we will have no problem with you. There will be no insult. There will be no rebellion against you. We will wish you the best of luck, and we hope you bless us as we walk out of the SPLM to form our own political party to continue the vision that we went to the bush for, to continue the vision that you taught us, to honor you and to thank you for all that you did during the liberation struggle, to raise us, educate us, command us, protected us, and gave us this political ideology that we are talking about today, that we, the Red Army, shall build South Sudan. So all we would ask for is your blessing. We will also bless you. We will also bless you for having taken us this far, and we wish you the best of luck with your newfound children. Second, I want to make a few clarifications. Number one is that people of South Sudan, members of the SPLM, should know that President Salva Kiir Mayardit will remain our patron and commanding officer. We are not destroying the structures of the SPLM. He is patron and commanding officer today, not because he's president of South Sudan. It is because of the historical hierarchy of the SPLM SPLA. He took over from the late Dr. John Garang Damabior. Therefore, this is his title. It is his honorary title. Secondly, we are advocating for the historical and present rights of our victims, of the war victims and veterans, meaning the Red Army, the widows, the orphans, the war disabled, and veterans. And very soon, should the SPLM accept to sit down with us, then we, the Red Army, will put up some demands that are not self-centered, that are centered on why we went to the bush and what we said we were going to do when the country is liberated, not forgetting the 21 years of the liberation struggle and all the people who participated in it, and especially including those who have died, and making sure that our historical organizations like the SPLM and the SPLA are protected and preserved very well. We will make sure that these people that sacrificed everything, their relatives, their families, their limbs, and everything, and their time and everything, veterans like His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit will one day have a dignified retirement after having served the people of South Sudan. It is us, the Red Army, who will honor him with all that he needs. And we want to begin that by making sure that he's protected from anybody that is disturbing him, that is not giving him peace of mind. If we work in the secretariat, if we are integrated in the system of the SPLM and that of the government, we will give the president much needed relief for him to be able to peacefully deliver to the people of the Republic of South Sudan. Therefore, he can live peacefully until he is actually good to go home and then live peacefully in retirement with the help of the Red Army. Everybody else who participated in the liberation struggle and is now dying at home without benefits, we will call on the SPLM to help them out, because whatever we have in South Sudan today belongs to those who have died, those who have suffered, and those who liberated the country. And those are the veterans. The third one is that the Red Army is not calling for regime change. And the reason we are not calling for regime change is because the only people we know are His Excellency the President, his deputy, Comrade James Waniga, Comrade Daniel Wedakut, Comrade Paul Manyang, and many other people. If we now campaign as Red Army or as Red Army Foundation for their removal, what if somebody who does not know us come to the office and become president? Even if I go to that person and introduce myself as chairman of the Red Army Foundation, I am afraid to be told by that person or to be asked, who are you? And Red Army, they should know, what is this Red Army you're talking about? That would be really bad. So I want someone like Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, who knows who we are, what we did, and what we are capable of doing until now. Therefore, these are the only people, and of course the SPLM. The SPLM is the institution that we know, and the leadership of Comrade Salva Kiir Mayardit, including his government, are the two institutions that we know that owes us, that we can get our compensation for, that we can get our recognition for. If we get rid of them, No one will recognize us. No one will reward us. And no one will work with us. So I want this to be very clear that we are not for regime change, but we want to make sure that the vision in which the SPLM went to the war or to war for is actually fulfilled by the current leadership and by the SPLM with the help of the Red Army. We helped liberate the country. We can help build this country. The Red Army, the other point is that the Red Army is not against the government. It is an SPLM-led government, and we don't want people in the government to catch feelings. They can go about their business. Our contention is with the National Secretariat that has intentionally denied the Red Army access to anything SPLM. We want to get there. People continue to say that the SPLM belongs to us, that we are the children of the SPLM. That does not make sense to me, because if the SPLM is ours, then why are we not in it? Why are we not making decisions in it? Why are we not making policies in it? Until that happens, the SPLM of today, including its national secretariat, does not belong to us. Somebody needs to show us, tell us practically that the SPLM belongs to us. The other point is that the Red Army just want to play a role in the SPLM National Secretariat. We don't want to take anybody out. No, we are not chasing anyone. All the South Sudanese people are our comrades, they are our brothers and sisters, and they are our partners in nation building. We want them in the SPLM, but it should not come at the expense of the Red Army. No, we will not accept that. Not in this life, not when we are still alive. And our history will not be tampered with when we are alive. The other point is that the Red Army has no associations or support any other groups opposing the government. We have not made contact with any group that is opposing the government because they know who is talking. That is me. I am known by all the opposition. I'm hated by all the opposition and branded as #1 supporter of Salva Kiir Mayardit and that of the government. And they are laughing at me. This is why I've been suffering all these years. And it's because anyone who loves Salva Kiir or anyone who supports him is actually sidelined by many people, is hated, and is basically not doing well at this particular time. But I have accepted, and the Red Army have accepted to follow that path. And we have come to claim our right from the person who has our rights. Our rights are not in the bush. They are with the president, they are with the SPLM, and they are with the South Sudanese people. So anyone trying to link us with any opposition group is wrong. And you will not find any evidence or any ounce. Many people in South Sudan, people from the liberation background, old and young, support what we are saying. So the best thing to do is just to dialogue with the Red Army and all will be well. Number 7, one of the last points in this clarification is that majority of the Red Army support this move and are ready for any outcome. We are ready to dialogue. If the dialogue is not possible until the 30th, well, sorry, the light went off. I'm very sorry about this. It's coming up, yeah. Just a moment to switch over.
You think we can close the show and bring you back when the light is?
No. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. God
I
bless
was saying
you.
that majority of the Red Army support this move and are ready for any outcome. Should the outcome be that our request to have a peaceful dialogue with our mother party, the SPLM, is denied, the Red Army will pack and go and form their own political party. So either way is not a problem. And I already know, and it has already started, that the SPLM National Secretariat has already started causing problems within the Red Army by reviving the people that we had made peace with, the people that they organized to oppose me, because It has been said, and it came from the National Secretariat, that if you want to kill the Red Army, get rid of Deng, and it will die. Well, I'm not the only one who can continue the vision of the SPLM, SPLA, or the vision of the Red Army. Even if I gone by way, or even if I'm gone, or even if I go by way of death, or by being removed from the Red Army Foundation, that will not be the begin. That will not be the aim, because those who will come after me, whether through violence or whether peacefully or through any other means, will finally know what I'm talking about, how we have suffered for the last 9 years, doing everything within our power, spending our own money, just trying to get recognition from the SPLM, recognition that we shouldn't have to fight for. Going around with our skills, with our knowledge, time and energy and willingness to help, but nobody wants to help. Begging the government, begging the SPLM and SSPDF to give us our rights. No one wants to listen. Time has come for the Red Army to get every right that they deserve. Because when you get these rights, you will share them with the people of South Sudan. Because the Red Army are not selfish people. We are not going to build a marat. We are not going to buy land or houses in foreign land. We will make sure that we fulfill the mandate, and that is to build the nation and share whatever opportunity, including privileges, including leadership, with those that deserve it. Use the leadership to transform the lives of our people. People fight for leadership because when they are in a position of leadership, they are able to make decisions that can change the lives of people. The biggest problem with our leadership in South Sudan is that when somebody acquires leadership, they use it for self-enrichment. They also use it for themselves, and also to oppress their fellow citizens, and to use it to fight the same history that brought the prosperity that we have in South Sudan today. That will not happen again. Way forward, ladies and gentlemen, is that contact to arrange for a dialogue with the SPLM is underway, and that's why I don't want to talk a lot, because I will be disrespecting what I have already been told by some people, that the SPLM will be willing to sit down with the Red Army. If that happens, this is what we want. So this is the way forward. So to me, this has already ended. Unless something happens that people go back and say, Balajmin Red Army, or forget the Red Army, or who the hell is this Red Army? Well, then, you call the curse of this nation, where every time you want to do the right thing, somebody comes and say, no, it is this, and it is this, that. But we hope that this plan to bring the Red Army and the SPLM together within the next few days will be fruitful, and we look forward to it, and that would have resolved all these issues. Whatever happens after that will be determined by the outcome of the dialogue. The second point, and the way forward, is many of our leaders support this move. Their only fear is that the time is not right, because they are saying, Red Army, you could have waited. You could have waited until this PCCA thing is over, or until the Kitwang declaration is done, or until the parliament start working, until all this. But problems of South Sudan will not end. Why? Because the problems of South Sudan are created by its leaders. It is the leaders, beginning from the secretariat. If the people in the secretariat are not coming up with the policies that can be used by the leadership and the executive in the SPLM-led government, then we will not see peace anytime soon in South Sudan, because it is the brain of the party that leads the country. It is the brain of people in the secretariat, the working people, the day-to-day working people, not the political bureau, not the executives, not the NLC, but the working people that comes up with ideas, that comes up with policies, and then take them now to decision makers and people who can endorse them. Until we have that kind of leadership in the SPLM, National Secretariat, we will not have a peaceful South Sudan. So anyone telling the Red Army to wait is wrong, because we cannot wait when the members of the National Secretariat are the architects of the problems in South Sudan. We have also seen that SPLM is used to crisis management. The crises of today are the ones that are going to be handled tomorrow. The one that will come up tomorrow will be handled the next day. So we are a people in crisis that are created by its leaders. Therefore, there is no right time or wrong time for anything. Today is the right time for the Red Army to sit with the SPLM so that we can reduce all these crises. I am sure if the Red Army sits with the SPLM Secretariat, it will relieve a lot of pressure, including pressure from the lost boys and girls of South Sudan who are neglected and forgotten in diaspora. And they're the ones actually feeding our 4 million people that are outside the country. They're the ones sending people money to displace camps. They're the ones doing everything, but they are part of the conflict. Anyone who thinks that the Red Army is not part of the conflict is wrong. The Red Army have to be brought back to the SPLM and engaged, utilized, just like they were utilized during the liberation struggle. So the time for dialogue is now. We are not going to wait. This is a short-term thing. It can be done in one day, and it's over, and it can solve some of the problems. The other point, number 3, is that I have no security concerns, and the government and security agencies have no problem with our call for dialogue. None at all. I was in Juba yesterday. I came back after having talked to a lot of our leaders. I went through the airport security. No one stopped me. I thought maybe if there were some crooks in the system, that they would say now that the Red Army wants to either get out of the party, or they want to dialogue with the party, that Deng cannot leave. Well, I would have accepted to stay, no problem. And if it would have been security agencies, I would have gone with them to where they are, and I stay with them. I have no problem. I have no problem in staying in Blue House. I've told people in Juba that I think I'll be comfortable in Blue House. I don't have a house in Juba because I have used my money to care for the sick and the vulnerable Red Army that the government and the SPLM are not taking care of. And I have witnesses. I have helped more Red Army in dire situation than the entire SPLM of today, of 2005 until today. So I have no problem staying in Blue House if that is the place. Well, it will save me rent. I don't have money for rent, and the Red Army doesn't have money to pay me to work for them. So I'm not afraid. Also, our people working in security and in government are not fools, and they recognize the rights of the Red Army, and I thank them for this. They have encouraged us. They said, the Red Army, what you are demanding is your right. Go for it. Just make sure that it is not taken advantage of any other people. And we are here without any associations with anybody. We are doing it well. We have the support of our people, and I'm sure, I am very confident that His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit support this because it is working in his favor. The last point after way forward is that I will be returning to the country soon to participate in the upcoming dialogue. I am now in Khartoum, Sudan, and this coming here was planned. It failed 3 times. I was supposed to come back on the 30th of last month, but I had to cancel my ticket 3 times. This time I could not cancel it. I had to come. So there is no problem with that. I am ready to return to the country at any given time. Lastly, my message to the Red Army of South Sudan is that we need to unite, we need to organize, and we need to conduct this call for dialogue in a peaceful, professional manner with respect to our leaders and to our party and to the people of South Sudan. To the public and opposition, we denounce any form of violence to ask for any rights. We don't want anyone to get violent with anybody. We call on all the opposition parties or armed groups that are in the bush to come back to the Republic of South Sudan and let us build our country. To the National Secretariat, please, the party belongs to the people of South Sudan, belongs to the members of the SPLM. It is not yours. If you cannot deliver for the people and for the SPLM, for the members and for the country, peacefully vacate the premises of the SPLM and allow those that are trained, that are indoctrinated, that are militarily, politically inducted into the liberation ideals. Let them carry out the work of the party, even if it is voluntarily, because they did it for 21 years and they can do it for another 21 years without any problem. You have let down our president, our chairman, and our patron. You have let down our vice president, Comrade James Waniga. You have let down our senior leaders of the SPLM, Comrade Daniel Owet. You have let down Comrade Paul Manyang Juk. You have let down Comrade Mark Nipoch, and everyone who is dead and alive, who sacrificed for this nation. It is time for you to leave the Secretariat immediately. To the government and to security forces, we have no problem with you. We are government of the people. You are security of the nation to safeguard those who are threatening our lives and our property. The Red Army is not one of those enemies. There are many people you can deal with. There are rebels around Juba. Go for them. Weed them out. Get rid of people that are disturbing peace, that are killing people on roads, that are instigating violence in the communities. That is the work of the government and the security, but not someone who wants to do good for the people of South Sudan. I respect people in the government and all the security agencies, for they have been very supportive in this call. I thank all of you, and your work is to continue to advise us to go the right way and to demand our rights and the rights of our vulnerable people in a peaceful manner. And finally, to His Excellency the President of the Republic, General Salva Kiir Mayadi, we have no problem with you. We are your children, we are your people, and it is us that can guarantee you a beautiful legacy. Not anyone else, not these people who comes to you and tell you all this nonsense that they are loyal to you. No one is more loyal than the Red Army. No Red Army that I know would want you dead. Many of the people that you are working with today are people who turned guns on you, to kill you, to take your position, dead or alive. You are alive today, and you are still leading, partly because of the Red Army, militarily and politically. It is time for you to reward us. Reward us for the 9 years. 9 years we have stood with you, okay? We stood with you against the SPLM-IO. We stood with you against the United Nations and many foreign agencies trying to topple your government. We have stood with you, and it is now time for you to stand with us against this secretariat that does not want us. I thank you very much, and we will continue to support you, our patron and commanding officer. Thank you very much. That's the end of my briefing.
Thank you, Comrade Deng for highlighting and inform the people of South Sudan about what's going on between the Red Army and the SPLM Secretariat. In the document that I shared with you a while ago, you already explained it to the people of South Sudan. You have exhausted. Even I don't have nothing to ask you, but I will go around those uh, 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 numbers that you have narrated, because you said that the SPLM, the Red Army, have suspended their activities from the SPLM secretariat, and also you said that the Red Army had been silenced for a very long time, and we suspended our activities from the SPLM secretariat. Who are the SPLM secretariat, and who is heading the office of the SPLM secretariat?
Well, I'm not going to mention a lot of names. I'm only going to mention the leader, because all blames go to the leader. If something is wrong in the Red Army Foundation, I am usually blamed and I take blames for it. So the person to blame here, whether she's still there or not there, is Comrade Gemma Nunukumba, who has not done much to recognize the Red Army and also to support the SPLM Red Army League within the SPLM. And so that is the person that we blame the most. But a lot of other people contributed because I was talking to one of the people at the secretariat, and I told him that you are all guilty. You are all convicted by the Red Army and people from the liberation background. Therefore, if you were taken somewhere and would say that we that if we were convicting you, we'll convict all of you. But of course, charges and verdict or conviction will be different, because some people will have lesser charges or lesser sentence if they were sentenced for failing the party or failing the Red Army or not fulfilling the vision of the SPLM SPLA liberation struggle. So the blame goes to the leader, and we do not know if the next leader is going to be different, but sometimes we doubt because these people seem the same now to us, because there is a problem. There is this conflict and identity, and people are protecting their interest. The Red Army have become a wasted generation that does not identify with the older generations and does not identify with the young generation. Sometimes we are pushed to the SPLM, we are pushed to the SPLA, we are pushed to the government, we push to civil society, to the point we are asked to go and beg from the UN. We cannot beg from the UN because we don't like the presence of the UN in South Sudan. We don't like the presence of NGOs in South Sudan. We think that the presence of the United Nations, the presence of all these humanitarian agencies in the country has contributed to a lot of the problems we have at this particular time. So we are not going to beg anybody, and we have already decided. And by the way, it's very, very clear. If we want anything in South Sudan, we should ask this through the SPLM. All our rights are in the SPLM. So we are not going to disturb even the government. We are not going to disturb people in SSPDF. If there is something that the Red Army wants in SSPDF, like if there is a member who has been oppressed in the system and not given ranks, this person will get a recommendation from the SPLM, and the SPLM will make sure that this person gets his or her right. Same thing to the government. If any Red Army desires to work in the government, that person will be nominated and recommended by the SPLM to be appointed to any leadership position, so that this person can actually help build the country. Those are the skills we have now. So everything we want is in the SPLM. Thank you.
For now, I might beg you to make short answers because the people of South Sudan understand short answers, because you already give long answers when we allow you to brief the people of South Sudan.
Thank you.
You said that you will not mention their name. That's okay. What about things that you mentioned earlier. You said that Kumba or Kumbe, I'm sorry if I mispronounce his name, you said that she left the SPLM sectarian, isn't it?
She has not officially left because she's not been relieved. She has not resigned, and she's still acting SG, unless she has
What
been
is
released
SG?
today.
Can you give me that
Secretary
abbreviation?
General of the
Tell me
SPLM.
that acronym. Tell me that acronym. What is SG?
Secretary General of the
Secretary
SPLM.
General. Okay.
Yes,
'Cause
but
I don't
she's
know
been
what you mean by
appointed to
SG.
Parliament. She's been appointed to Parliament. She's already sworn in. So now she's the Right Honorable Speaker of our Parliament. And congratulations to her. So it is time that she quits the SPLM, resign, or be relieved from that,
Okay.
from those
My
duties.
my next follow-up question: when you confronting these people, do you go as conversing with them, or do you go officially with your duty, or and talk to them, discuss with them, or do you send them official letter to this
Thank you.
to the office of the secretariat? Have you confronted them uh, officially, or you went there or met one by one and you have conversation with them? Have you
Uh,
informed them formally that the Red Army have suspended their activities with your office?
Comrade Ball, we have everything. We have documentary evidence of our engagement with the SPLM. We are very official people. As you know, majority of the Red Army are educated. Was educated here in East Africa and also in the United
Send us
States.
that document.
So,
Send us that
yes.
document.
So
Send us the letter, the copy of the letter.
yes, it will be sent. It will be shared with you. The last letter that was written was on the 15th of February, 2021. That letter has not been replied to. She acknowledged having received it because many people have reminded her to talk to the Red Army, but she's not responded to it. Just imagine writing to your congressman or woman. Now, even you, Comrade Ball, if you write to the speaker with a very urgent, if you write to Nancy Pelosi today in the United States, the speaker, and raise a question that is of importance to a certain group of people and to the American people, Excellency the speaker, I'm sure, would write back immediately or at least within 2 weeks. For Comrade Jema Nunukumba has taken since the 15th of February until now. There's no hope in that. She's intentionally doing it, and there's no problem. She's not the SPLM. SPLM is everybody. People will come and
Okay.
go.
Okay.
So we have all the documentary evidence of meetings, and we knew that it was going to come to this. So we started all the way from Lebanon. Actually, we started with our league. And
Okay.
we recorded all the engagement with us, the interaction
Chairman.
with us, the interaction with us, the engagement with us, and all this and that. So that if we begin to talk like this, we can call witnesses. We can show that we have tried. No one in South Sudan is blaming us, by the way, that we have taken this decision. No, the Red Army are fed up. They don't want to deal with this anymore.
Okay. You have talked about the SPLM secretariat, and we know that SPLM secretariat had been there since late John Garang de Mobura came, which was led, SPLM secretariat actually was led by Pagana Mom, right?
Yes.
And we know that the SPLM secretariat sometime Nuri have just said something that refreshed my mind, so I'm going to use his idea to ask you a question. SPLM secretariat actually is appointed by the president. That one coming from Nuri. It was
Yes.
my next question to you, but I was saying it in a different way. Now
Yes.
I have seen you in your speech that you are praising President Kiir, you are praising Comrade Awunakot, you are praising Paul Manyang, and you said that the Red Army had been left alone by the SPLM secretariat. Do these people, these high commands of the SPLM before, not now, do they know that the Red Army had been sidelined? Do they know? Because I know you are very close with President Kiir. Do President Kiir know that Red Army had been left alone? Nobody considered them. Nobody recognized them because in your speech you said that Red Army had not been recognized. So do President Kiir, when I could call Manyang, know that we had been left alone? Because you always meet with them. Do President Kiir himself know that Red Army had been left alone?
Okay, well, I think they are aware, but not to this extent. Because as you know, we are very reserved on what we can say. We can only talk when we are fed up. I am very particular about having to speak ill of my president, my government, my party, and all the people working in them. I can only do so if I have no option. We can only do so as Red Army when we have no option. We will talk about the president when the time is right. But this is not about the president.
No,
the president has
we're not
delegated
talking.
responsibilities.
Listen.
I'm coming, my brother. I'm coming. The
Chairman,
president has delegated
listen, Chairman. We're not talking about the president. I ask you, do President Kiir know that Red Army had been not recognized? Simple yes or no.
Well, this is what I told you. I said they are aware, but they probably do not know the extent in which we have been sidelined or oppressed within the system. And hopefully this will help them understand the real situation. The situation is like this. Comrade Bol, you work for a company. Perhaps if you do wrong, it is not the person who employed you. Okay, it is not the person who employed you that will be blamed. It is you having not done your job. The people at the secretariat have failed the president and have failed the Red Army. They have failed Comrade Awit. They have failed Comrade Kwan. And this is our point. So it is good to do a job that everyone else can be proud of, including your employer. That's my point.
Now, my question to you is, if the office of the SPLM secretariat failed, do you think the office of the president have not failed?
Well, you are talking about the office of the president, which is completely different from
the SPLM secretariats are nominated by the president, and what they doing, the president know.
Yes, of course, the president know, and this is why you see people sometimes being fired. When you are fired, it's because of something had come up. If we had brought this up before Comrade Jema Nunu was actually appointed to the position of a speaker, if it was our demand with all this evidence that she's mistreating us in the system, this could have actually called for some sort of removal, because these are matters of the party. But we did not, out of respect for her and of the party. And we are not going to stop the next person if they continue to play with the party and the lives of the South Sudanese people and the feelings of the Red Army and the commitment of the Red Army and the integrity of our leadership. Then we will speak. At this particular time, we have seen that the people that are employed do not hold themselves to high standard. It has become a game. It has become a project, not a call to duty, not a commitment, not service. It is not service above self. It is service of self-interest, which we will not allow in the SPLM to happen anymore. We will take care of the secretariat and within the other structures of the SPLM. If the president continue to fail, we will tell the president. There's no problem. What is wrong with us telling the president that, Mr. President, that is wrong or that is not working? It would be good if you do it like this. He's an understanding man.
Thank you, Deng.
Thank you.
The reason why I was asking you that way is because we know that you had been working all along with the president, because you sometimes told me that you go to the president office, and we had been talking about the Red Army programs, but you never came up one day and let us know that things are difficult in Juba. Even the SPLM secretariat are not supporting the Red Army. They're not recognizing the Red Army, and that's why I was asking you about if the
You're
president
right.
was,
You're right.
because
You're right.
you always tell me that there is a support from our government about this project, and that's why I was actually going deeply, because you are praising some of the SPLM leaders in the party, and also blame, because the SPLM secretariat is also a part of the SPLM party, and if they are doing wrong things, it means the SPLM party all will be included, and that's why I jump and also ask you on the other side of.
Comrade Bola, I want to add something to that. Yes, you are right. Maybe President Kiir has a little bit of blame for hiring incompetent people that are not loyal to him and to the party. You're right. But also know that if the house is dirty, it is not because of the boss. It is because of the cleaner. It is the incompetence of the cleaner. SPLM, National Secretariat, has bad cleaners. And that's why we want to bring in people who can clean better. And that's it.
What
So
initiative?
we are asking the president to bring in the Red Army and to also make sure that the Red Army, okay, are placed in places where they can help the party and the leadership. That all the people that come to the party are people who are loyal to the party and loyal to the ideals of the liberation. That is all. This would be our call to the president. And I made a call earlier. I said, Mr. President, bring the next SG as somebody who can help unite people, not somebody who is coming to divide us. Because the next SG or deputy SG or acting SG will determine whether the SPLM members stays together or break into pieces. It will determine the survival of the SPLM. So,
Thank you.
when you look at it, we are saying the same thing. We are also saying that, Mr. President, your choices of some people sometimes are completely bad, and they are the reason why you suffer.
Thank you, Mr. Deng. Okay, now you have suggested that the Red Army are suspending their activities with from SPLM Secretariat. What are the other initiatives you will take from there after you suspend your activities from the SPLM Secretariat? What are other initiatives you will take? What are other routes you will take?
We are not going to do
bring
anything,
them into the dialogue.
Comrade Ball, in the next few days, after the 30th of July, of August, I mean, we are not going to be mindful of anything SPLM. We're not going to talk about SPLM. If there is an event in the SPLM, we are not going to come. We are not going to hold any event or any other engagement until we have that dialogue. And if the dialogue is not held, we will then take a different course of action that may include cutting ties permanently with the SPLM. You see, Comrade Ball, South Sudan is a democratic nation. Let us not underestimate our constitution and our rule of law. Okay? People go to court now thinking that they will be convicted simply because so-and-so has paid money or they are dealing with Naz Kubar or Zol Kabir. But no, it doesn't happen like that. There is a law in the country. And South Sudanese people and the government of South Sudan has always given rights when it is deemed necessary and when it is rightful. So we are not afraid of anything. We can actually carry out our political activities in South Sudan outside of the SPLM, and will make it one of the biggest, strongest parties in South Sudan. You see, here is what the SPLM is exploiting. The SPLM is in coalition with a lot of briefcase political parties while they are pushing away the Red Army. The Red Army now is not participating very much, while they continue to think that it is the briefcase, the briefcase political parties. Now they are quoting Sawa. It's laughable and it's ridiculous to want to own other people's political parties when a bloc, a very strong partner unit of the SPLM, is withering away without any recognition and without any support. But no problem. When we become a political party, if the SPLM continue to disown us, we will take the SPLM further. We will support them. They will be our partners. But we will lead the vision of the SPLM. We will lead it. Because we seem to be the only people remembering now that there's a reason why people went to the bush. The people in positions now do not care about why people went to the bush. Sometimes if you talk about the liberation struggle, people just tell you, yeah, shut up here and put this in writing and put it in the library or the museum. You see? So the suffering of our people cannot be relevant at this particular time, not when we are alive. That is why we are saying that if, Mr. President, we are disturbing the peace in your secretariat or in your party, you'll bless us and you let us move out peacefully. If not, please welcome your children to their home and they will help you.
I believe that with me, we have exhausted some questions that I want to ask, unless if some of my colleagues who are ready to come in. Otherwise,
Comrade
I
Bol,
am done from here.
Comrade Bol, we have talked for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. I don't wish to engage some of your audience because all this that we are saying are completely irrelevant, because the only people we owe an explanation to are actually not the citizens of South Sudan.
I'm not bringing anybody from somewhere. It's just the Lake State media.
I am making a statement. It is the SPLM. So we'll save the rest for the SPLM Secretariat. They are the people that our demands will be directed to. I say thank you to all of you, the viewers of this wonderful media house, Lake State Media. Oh, I see one of your hosts. If you have any question, my brother, you can ask me.
Yeah, that's the guy I was telling you.
Yes, I am sorry. I am sorry because there are people here who are requesting you to call them. I don't wish to engage. My brother, maybe a few questions because I've talked a lot, and I just wanted to come and I wanted to honor your invitation. I did not want to turn you down because Lake State Media has been very helpful and has been giving platform to our people. And because when people talk, they find peaceful resolutions. When people stop talking, they turn to guns and violence. So thank you very much for providing this peaceful atmosphere where people can now, peacefully express themselves without necessarily causing trouble. Thank you.
Thank you, Red Army Chairman. I will welcome Peter Kenny to join us in this show and will ask questions. But I want to address the audience and people who are writing. Always when you come to somebody's house, and even if you don't like his view of his house, you don't insult. There are some people we welcome to Lake State Media, but all what they do along is sending an insult. Please be respectful. You have to engage like any other people. Politically, you don't need to insult somebody. You can disagree with me, but you cannot insult me or insult my guest. Thank you, and
Thank
everybody
you.
is welcome. Peter Kenny, I welcome you to ask questions.
Thank you, Brother Paul. And uh, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
comrade,
sir.
welcome to
Thank
Lagos
you.
State Media. It has been overdue. And also, thank you to the viewers and people of South Sudan in general. Um, Mr. Chairman, I don't have too many questions, but I will ask maybe two or one or so. And maybe if I have a follow up, I will be. Um, we have read uh, your letter. And the question that I have at this point is a simple question. What is the stand of the Red Army? What is the position of Red Army concerning PCCA?
What is the position of the Red Army on what?
PCCA, the People Coalition for Civil Action.
Well, all I can say is that just like any other South Sudanese, we have heard of them. We have seen their documents, and of course we know them. Some of them Red Army and all that, and we don't share some of their views, and it's in fact many of them. And one of the views is regime change agenda, where they have asked all the the president and all the vice presidents to go. But as far as the suffering of the people is concerned, everybody, including His Excellency the President, knows his people are suffering. Everybody knows we are all suffering and all that. PCCA is not associated with the Red Army Foundation, and especially our call. As you can see, this is something that we have been following all along since we founded the organization in 2012. Also, we've been following this all along since 2018 and all this. All these things build up to where we are today. So some people may confuse us for them. And I have people asking me that, oh, Chairman,
No,
why
Mr.
is the
Chairman,
deadline? They're saying,
they are
why is the deadline the 30th? And I said, well, today is the day we did the press statement. And if it is 2 weeks, when will it be? It is automatically the 30th. So we have no issue with that. Days are not given, are not marked. The 30th is not PCCA day. No, it is not. It is a day they picked, just like many weddings will be done on that day, just like many burials will be done on that day, just like many other events will be held on the 30th of August. The other thing that people need to know is that the 30th is not a D-Day for the Red Army. It's not an event. We are not going to hold an event. In fact, we are not holding any event. We are not going to gather. We can only gather for the dialogue. If the dialogue is turned down after the 30th, that is when we will start talking now and we say, okay, what do we do from here? So at this particular time, we have no interest in getting out, in protesting, in bothering the SPLM. We want to give the SPLM their peace of mind. They already know our intentions. It is up to them. And chin cái
okay.
tiếng kia luyện là coi đã quay elvet achiran quay nga canting ran pina luyện gì đấy. I am saying my own rights. The Red Army are saying their own rights. Bolma Kur is after his own right. President is after his own right because he has his problems too. He's trying to protect himself and relieve himself of the problems. So achiran quay ran jai, ku achiran quay ran the kor below. So yeah. PCCA is a different entity that is also fighting for support from members.
So
they're also appealing to everybody.
To ask you a follow-up question. To ask you a follow-up question. So what are the things you guys agree between the Red Army and the PCCA? And if so, is it okay for them to protest at the plant? Do Red Army have an objection?
I want to say something. We have not met to agree or disagree.
No, you
There
don't have
have
to.
been, no, I'm
Yeah,
coming.
you don't have to meet. You said there are things you guys agree. That means things that are similar to what you complain.
I am coming.
Right.
When they wrote in their document that the Red Army have suffered, that the veterans have suffered, that widows are suffering, that the people of South Sudan are suffering, no one can deny that. The question is, how do we relieve people from suffering? That is one. Two is that PCCA is no different from any other groups. You know, like, I don't know why people will not be asking us about General Paul Malone or General Thomas Trilo or maybe Red Card or I don't know who, the comrade the Vice President Hussein Abdul Bagi, Mamara Beka Nyandeng, Comrade Taban Dengai, Dr. Riak Machar. These are people who rose against the government of South Sudan. Why is PCCA, or maybe what the Red Army is saying now, the biggest problem that South Sudan has? This is basically what I would call, you know, overlooking some of the issues. If there is anybody that is doing wrong against the Republic of South Sudan, and all these people should all equally be condemned. There is no one who is more dangerous than the other, and especially if the person is calling for either killing of the people or fighting people and all that. I am not responding like this because it's not like I don't like your question. It is good. It's a good question because many people are thinking that because we are doing it now, that people think that we are doing it for PCCA. No, PCCA was not there in 2018 when I confronted the entire leadership of the SPLM and warned them that the Red Army will leave the party if you don't utilize them. That the Red Army will build the party if you utilize them. So we don't want, that's the problem with South Sudan, and that's why we have not been able to find a solution, my brother. What you are asking now is what you are reading from other sources. They twist things. Like right today, as I speak to you, there are groups now, a few people who have risen up and they say that Deng is saying that we should leave the party. Therefore, we are not with him. These are the same people that continue to blame me every day for their suffering, that I don't press the leadership, that I don't press
Okay,
the SPLM.
then
Yes.
we are meeting. And you know, when we had something, we already had about something, and something is honest. There is a smoke without fire. Basically, did the SPLM party ask the Red Army to see if they can go out to counter protest the PCCA? Yes or no?
To counter protest?
Um,
To counter protest?
yes.
Well, at this particular time, when nobody even want to listen to us, what are we protecting? The secretariat that does not want to listen to us? Let them talk to us. Let them give us our right. And then we will speak for them like we have always done. We have worked for them for 9 years. What more do they want from us? It has come to the point we are saying, if you don't sit down with us, if you don't talk with us, we will be better off alone. That is very easy to understand. And it does not matter who comes. It does not matter whether it is Thomas Shirilo, if it is Malung, or if it is anyone at this particular time. If they come to the SPLM, let them go and talk to the SPLM. We will not interfere because we are not in the SPLM. We have suspended our programs because of their inability to take us as their own.
All right. I don't want to repeat the question. I will turn it to Bo. But on the 30th, are you gonna come back?
To what do you mean come back?
Come back to Lake State Media.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not really the 30th. I will probably come within the next 10 days with the good news that we have met with the SPLM and we are happy to be back in our father's arm, in our mother's arm, and that now we are able to be proud children.
Now you are making me asking more questions. What?
Yes, sir.
What if there is no solution? What
Well,
if you don't get any feedback?
Well, 99.99% of the time, there will be a solution, because I am sure, I know His Excellency the President is a man of peace. He knows our right. One day he once told us that we belong in the SPLM and SPLM is our party. All he has to do is to put what he said into action. That is all. There is nothing. He knows who we are. He knows our role that we played during the liberation struggle. He knows what we are capable of deep inside. So 99% or even more of the time, I am very sure 100% that the president will intervene if there is a problem with the secretariat and will ask the Red Army to stay at home, because the child can only leave the house if the father or the mother want to. But we have no quarrel with him. Why would he allow us to leave? So I am actually thinking and very optimistic that in the next few days, the Red Army will celebrate in Juba like they've never done before. SPLM House will be filled with celebration, and that will be the revival of the SPLM. SPLM way.
All right. Until then, Mr. Chairman,
Thank you.
You promised me 10 days. I'll be around within those 10 days.
Maybe less, maybe
Peter,
more.
hang on, Peter, don't go. I have a question, because he said SPLA, and that brought me back to follow-up question that he have said before. You
Yes.
said before, when people are in meetings or in celebrations, when people say SPLA, there are people who don't mention the name SPLM Waye. They say Waye.
Yes.
Who are those?
Well, my goodness, I don't have the names. Like I remember recently when we were in Lobonok, it was taught to say SPLM Waye, and then you say SPLM Waye. Recently, on the 23rd of July this year at Freedom Hall, Comrade Kwal Manyang Juk stood up and taught people, majority of the people, how to say SPLM Waye. That when you say, when your hands are free, you put all of them up and say SPLM Waye, and then you respond SPLM Waye. That's what was done. This is what will bring back to the SPLM. Until today, I don't say Waye completely. No.
Why you don't say Waye?
You just don't respond Oye. You say SPLM Waye. If you say
Okay.
If you say Bolma Kurweye, I will say Bolma Kurweye. I will not just say Waye. So that is the difference. And the saddest thing about it is that they are teaching our people. Even people from the liberation background are beginning to say that. So I guess Comrade Paul Manyang just got sick and tired and bothered himself and went and overworked himself in front of people, teaching grown folks, teaching leaders how to chant the proper way when you are excited about something good about the SPLM.
Okay. There is something you said before. You said that, in Juba or in South Sudan, Achiran Bairando.
Yes.
You said that. Luel Nagige, Achiran Bairando.
Yes.
Kukia Yucha Luelin Bendene. Tina Luel Kalagal in South Sudan, if you confronted the people in SPLM party, and you said you're right, Achiran Gwairani, Achiran Gwaji. Kuna ko jwe chika gwaj.
Well, rane gwaj dane jam thing. Kutianga kaluai thing. This is what I'm saying. We cannot convict the whole system
For
and say
instance,
the system is bad. So ran ay gwaj dane jam thing kutiang loy thing. If kiloy ku wore dame, dade nang gwaj will be system of your question. But as far as we know, there's been no problem because people in the government have been very supportive. People in the security
go ahead, Peter.
have been very supportive. They recognize our right and they admire us. They think they really believe in us that we are the future of this nation. We are the present and the future.
Comrade Chairman, well, it seems it is not fair that if that's the case, if it is the only SPLM, within SPLM, you have to speak your mind. Now rest of the people, rest of the citizen, how that's not the SPLM vision.
I will tell you where when you got banting, and it is bad for us to continue this language, and it's not acceptable in Bar Kazal and many other places, maybe in Board, maybe in Lagos State too, it's acceptable, but in Rek, it is not good. But let me just say this. Dear banting, one jam ko SPLM, ko ban pok without a resolution. But the chin problem, problem at your band on the date 15. That is what happened when you turn something that is supposed to be peaceful into a violent. So that later I make it annually will be a violent. Then which achievement. Lakin ran chape ran chapo teach it. Ye de could I Japan. Ki be to one peaceful a lawyer chin problem. Can lawyer bookene. I can risk cutting thing completely zero risk. Why? Because we are asking for our right. Chira and choku, chira and yeku, chi yen wo kalumku, takin yen wo wojen. A chira and guajan jai, chira and guajan.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
When you are asking for your right,
yes,
that means there are things that had been changed, your right had been moved, your right had been shifted. And when you ask for your right, you ask for the change. Yes. Those Red Army who were asking for change, and they had been jailed, they had been, subjected to some physical harm, or sometimes spend some time in a jail without trying.
Yes.
Were they not asking for the right? Because I know because there's nobody among all these people who say that I'm asking for my particular right. They are asking for the right of all Junubin, and they had been subjected to jail time. So, and today you said that in Juba, when I had confronted the government of Salva Kiir Mayardit, and I had not been, somebody is playing with the keyboard and is making noise, and nobody, Achiran Gwairando. Does it mean kina SPLA kulorot fi Juba kideni Arab gwel Arab ichol gale marafa kana no kujarabi noron tela gar to pintina baja kore ka nong de lwel gale marafa yani lo inta biga be arvu lo government bita SPLM currently lo biarava kala inta togul haja that hey, we need change, you will not be subjected to a jail time lekin lo do zoltani ma biarvu, then this person will be taken as it will take the government away. We jeledu. Kalam de other kalam going on.
Comrade Ball, let me just say this. You know the difference between me and many people, and why I don't get into trouble in South Sudan, is that I know how to separate things. How? I'm going to give you a very good example. Somebody called me in Juba and said, Deng, I knew you guys, the Red Army, were going to bring a problem to this nation. That it began with Peter Biar, then it went to Carbino 1, and now Akol Maker, and a Woolwich, and now the Red Army. And all of you are from the Red Army background. I call that person stupid or someone well then, when you run out of ideas. And these are the ideas that are managing or leading the secretariat. You connect things that are not together so that you can confuse the weak-minded, so that the weak-minded can use that and say, like now, what is being crafted now is that people are saying, oh, the Red Army are part of PCC. That way, the Red Army can be dealt with the way they want to deal with PCC. But that is completely wrong. The reason I'm saying that is completely wrong is that this is not our intention. But what they don't know is that our leaders are smarter than that and are wiser than that. No one in his right mind, no leader, and I've talked to many of them, has accused the Red Army of being Red Army Foundation or my leadership or being part of PCCA. It is only being used by people in the secretariat who do not want to see the Red Army come in. That's the thing. I heard that from them. And we disregard it. We don't want to work. If they have something, and imagine they call the PCCA, I understand. And they told PCCA, look what you have done. You have now instigated the Red Army, and they are now going to topple the government. I mean, such people should not even be at the secretariat. These are people who can cause something that will burn down the SPLM in a daylight for their own political expedience. You understand? So don't worry. Our leaders are smarter than the common folks who are using these things to confuse people. I'm going to give you an example. Just because Malung is in the bush, and just because many other people from Barghazal are in the bush, that does not make Barghazal or the Dinka from Barghazal rebels. That is completely wrong. So if you take that analogy, you will understand that the Red Army are all over the place. They are a political people. There are Red Army in IO. There are Red Army in Sawa. There are Red Army in OPP. Why are people not talking about Red Army in all the other camps? And people are focusing their attention on the Red Army in PCC. If it is not trouble that people are looking for, this is actually a clear indication that these are people that are against the Red Army and will count it as part of the strategy that the Secretariat has been playing all along. And with this, no Red Army will accept, because Yajamana, we have suffered enough. This that I'm doing here is probably supported by 99% of the Red Army, together with everyone who had gone to the bush. I can tell you for sure. So there's no worry. Even if they say that we are part of the devil, we'll say whatever, and we move, because we are not part of the devil. If they will say you want to topple President Kiir, we will not mind, because President Kiir will see our actions. He will hear how we speak. Okay? All this is calculated, and it is calculated in a way, and we began it in 2012. In 2012, for us, okay, to someday take over the SPLM from these people who have hijacked it and help our leaders, okay, live a peaceful life and leave a legacy behind. Instead of now, like now, if President Kiir decides to go home today, people will think that he has ran away from problem. And what legacy is that? We want to make sure that when President Kiir goes home, he has something to go to, and that when he goes home leaving people at the Secretariat that are working and that will continue to visit him and give him reports of what is being done. People building a nation you can be proud of. And you will go home having done something for the veterans, for the widows, for the orphans, for Red Army, Katiba Banat, Katiba Sheta, war disabled, and all the veterans, including those who have died. And he will leave when the SPLA is put in a museum. when the SPLM is also revived and that the legacy is also retired and it is documented and protected well and preserved for posterity. That is the thing. Then you will now be ready to go home. But you will not have peace of mind unless you change the way things work at the secretariat. You will not have peace of mind until he brings people that helped him liberate the country for 21 years without even asking for a penny. Those are the people he needs at this particular time.
Thank you, Mr. Dengbol.
I think, gentlemen, it is going almost 2 hours. I thank you. I am tired. I have talked a lot. It is late. It is now it is almost 5 here. So this is another service to this nation. So I'm not complaining, but it has been a pleasure being interviewed by you two wonderful gentlemen and also our wonderful audiences, including those who are trying to undermine the show. We don't have any problem with you, sir or madam. You come back to South Sudan, or if you are in South Sudan, by this time next year, you'll come to a wonderful secretariat where you can be welcomed by name.
Hold on, before you go, I want you to read this. Just something you will read coming from one of our audience.
Read it for me because it is very, very tiny and I cannot see it. Okay.
Okay, let me read it for you.
No, it's okay.
It's coming from Master Achille.
Let me read it. It is Commander Achille. Thank you. If X asks Y to give back what belongs to Y, this is rightful. But if X assume Y must go for the right that belongs to Y, then it is natural for Y to resist the demand of Y to leave. In one of my classes on policy advocacy, my lecturers working was like this. You could be convicted for saying fish lives in water. Yes. Comrade Achille, thank you. I don't want this show, gentlemen. I don't want this show to be about me and Comrade Achille Malik. And you guys know Comrade Achille is a commander of the Red Army. He's somebody we highly respect. He was the person who helped us with our league and all this. I am not going to respond to him. I will call him tomorrow. When I come to Juba, I called him. He's one of the people I consulted. He had some advice for me. I took some. I did not take some. Because no one is obligated to take not all. Because, yes, some people are resisting. So what do? We can't take them out by force. So we are going to ask the mediator, and that is His Excellency the President, to choose who stays, who goes, and or split between X and Y. I mean, it is ours. The whole thing belongs to X. But Y also wants something. So X, being a generous party, would like to share with Y. Y is not actually going. But Y should not resist.
Then, hold on.
Okay.
If I am you, I will leave this question. We want to go and solve it for Comrade Achille, and then our next show, this is when this question, which is
when we come back next time, we will see how His Excellency the President and the chairman of the SPLM or somebody with some kind of wisdom within the SPLM has resolved the equation of X and Y. That is the question. What you say is the equation to be resolved.
Yes,
so
this is the equation. This is a simultaneous equation.
Ask how has Mr. X and Mr. Y resolved their dispute.
Comrade Bob and Comrade Achille, something is wrong if you are convicted for saying fish live in water, and I will leave it from here.
Yes.
Something is wrong.
So you will
Well,
come back.
I want to say that.
No,
Yeah.
you don't
No,
have to dwell on.
I just want to say something. Sometimes people say, John Garang was talking to the Red Army in Dima, saying, if you don't have power, somebody can come and tell you that this is not a bottle of water, or what is here is not water. De Marisa, and you know it is water. But if you don't have power, you will believe, and you'll have to say that it is Marisa, but it is water. So basically, it is the same thing. You can say fish don't live in water, and if you are powerless, you can say yes, it is true. But in the case of the SPLM, we don't believe that there is someone who will tell us that fish does not live in water, and then we believe, because one, no one is powerful in South Sudan other than the SPLM and the SPLM members, and I'm talking about the membership, for people to deceive themselves to that point. If somebody tells you in the SPLM that in this is juice, is not water, then that person should be gotten rid of immediately in the SPLM. That person does not belong in the SPLM. Thank you.
And anyway, Paul,
No, go ahead, Peter.
I think I had enough for Comrade Ball is late as well, and there are a lot of questions to be asked, but we want to make it short. That way, if someone is coming back to watch the show, they will have enough time to watch it. And Comrade Ball, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll see you next time.
Thank
So
you.
take it from here, Paul.
Thank you, gentlemen. And let's meet again soon for celebration. I'm telling you, the Red Army will celebrate like hell in Juba if we are able to reach an amicable solution to this impasse, because the issue of the SPLM pains the Red Army and the people of South Sudan. It's the biggest tragedy we have, because if the SPLM was functioning well, everything will be okay in South Sudan. Thank you very much.
Deng Bola, I appreciate you for coming to Lake State Media. You fight for the right of the Red Army, but the right things Red Army should be doing is to focus on the building of monuments, which is the plan that you were doing. To me,
and that means a right for the people of South Sudan.
Yes, if I were you, I should not even talk with the SPLM secretarian. I should first succeed in building in building Red Army foundations, which are the monuments. So also the SPLM secretarians can see Kongping. I can because SPLM secretarian command big team, you can Red Army, are capable of doing something. But if we jump from here and jump from here, we will not succeed. So in a Kenya Yogubaloy, building of the monuments, they are in focus. Who can go to SPLM secretarian, Kongopol, Nae Kichi Kega Red Army, Chika sidelined, non Kuik be champion, Kong Palke, Kongu could and Konku success. Kongu are succeeding in building the monument, you know.
Comrade Ball, thank you very much. Let me share this with you. When the war ended, the government of the Republic of South Sudan, or the government of Southern Sudan by that time, and the government of South Sudan by now, gave SPLM some money for liberating the country. The SPLM has that money. I don't know how much is left. Nothing was given to the Red Army. The war was fought by three parties: the SPLM, the SPLA, and the Red Army. Until now, we don't even have £1 to rehabilitate a child who was taken from a parent at the age of 8 or 9 or 10, who is now gone mad and living on the street in the United States or in prison, traumatized in South Sudan, drinking himself sick, and leading a dysfunctional life. That money only belonged to the SPLM, and not all the SPLM, but the Secretariat and the known few. That is the tragedy of the SPLM. No, I'm coming. Yes, we want to build a monument. We want to go out and build a monument. Yes, it's our monument. And we want to build them. We want to raise funds. There's no problem. We will do that. But that does not prevent us from confronting the SPLM from destroying our country. Hearing that from you and even allowing them to eat another day is a tragedy. And it is sad. It's regrettable. Because these people should not be left a minute or a day to eat. If you find somebody eating the SPLM things the wrong way, make sure you stop that person immediately and ask the president to look into that so that the person who is going to serve the nation can come. Secondly, my brother, building monuments, building museums that are related to SPLM, SPLA, and the Red Army are sole responsibilities of the SPLM. If the SPLM was not lost at the Secretariat, should we come to the SPLM and some of us become deputy secretaries, for instance, and we are called to meetings to weigh in on ideas and policies of the movement, we will propose immediately that monuments are built, okay? That's what I called preservation of the legacy of SPLA and that of the SPLM and the Red Army. So yes, what you are saying is true. This is something we can do. But also, the people of South Sudan should know that the SPLM has been paid money for our blood and suffering, including those who have died, for in the name of liberating the country. So people have to explain to us, who is this person that called himself the SPLM that has to be paid for liberating this country, and yet we don't see any tangible programs from the SPLM. That alone is a question that has not been asked. When we become a separate political party, that's the accountability that will be given. Because there we will not be obligated. We will not abide by the code of the SPLM. You know?
Thank you. I know you have talked about money, you know, and we all know something went wrong when we get our independence. But you know, anokuwe belegi, anokuwe tongo monjang luel galaka koni kono mukor. Mucha kang pingen kini?
Yes.
Ke yin kuwe belegi, those money that you mentioned, by then, you know, the country was new, and people, you know, kaka koni kono mukor. So kaka I take a buko be luel man. We want Chika Bay. If I can tell you, I even will lead. What about will you actually have come? So, Kakin, Akaka Konika quite Diko Point Ben Betongi. Okay, and Nongichi live to where, and Nongichi goal where real galley pay back time. The Koko Jika Bukaja Beti, we would pay back time with Kito. Jabe Cham Kamano Grad Army. So, Kakakin. Akaka koni kono mukor. Na no kuiku bugloy, ko golku bugloy chimen where we been chat all state, kubara dami luo, big blue contributed, and then could be monuments be. But na yoku jam kata chiro loy, chimen ke wu chika bear, kwa chika cham kwa chingichi ya red army, oga be a fail because we want to forget about those money, and we want to work ourselves to build this, and we forget about the money that was brought. Those money even were not our money; they were being donated to us. If they did not go according to the way it was planned, then we need to forget about them, and we have to work by ourselves to build our monument. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nuri Nuri is here, but device not connected. So he wants to ask one important question, but his device is not connected. So I don't know how
It's
we can.
okay. Nuri will contact me. It has been a while. When I used to hold shows, he used to be my guest. He's very important. He's an important person. I want to say that this show has gone on for too long now, 2 hours. I want to leave some for the SPLM because all this I actually intended. Comrade Ball, when you want to fix something, you fix the leaking part of it. It is the SPLM Secretariat. So the SPLM Secretariat are the people that are working every day, paid staff, working. Political Bureau and NLC, maybe they get allowances. Those are not full-time employees of the SPLM. Therefore, you cannot expect a lot from them. Whatever that is brought to the table of NLC, if it does meet, or Political Bureau, when they meet regularly, is something that has been put together, refined, and agreed upon by the Secretariat, and it's brought to the leaders for approval. That is where the Red Army is going to come in handy, my friend. The ideas that are going to come to the Political Bureau and to NLC will be ideas that they see themselves in.
Thank you.
President Salva Kiir Mayardit will not have a problem with somebody saying, yeah, Mr. President, you have served this nation graciously since you were Red Army at the age of 17 in Anyanya 1 until now, when you are old and gray.
Thank you.
Will have peace and you will retire one day peacefully to your home that will be built by the SPLM.
Thank you.
You.
There are two things before we close. Before we close, there are two things we are going to do. Number one, Anonswal team, sometimes we need to make it a 50-50. Anonswal Kenya and Kaida do tea Bagdia. Abalua Jobu is here.
Yeah, dude. Oh, I do not good, okay. Thank you very much. Comrade Dude, that question is very simple to answer because the war of, now people say, why 1955? Why did Junubin go to the bush in 1955? Because they saw something coming or they were fed up with something. Why did the SPLA go to the bush in 1983? It is because they saw that what was working was no longer working. So many people have different ways of gauging stuff. We have tried everything. We have been courteous, we've been professional, we've been patient, we've been very respectful, we have written letters, we have talked to people, we have done everything within our power to do this. It so happened that our patience just ran out because we have tried talking. Now SPLM was supposed to be reorganized since we came back from Lobanok. It's almost 4 years, my sister. There is no reorganization of the SPLM. Majority of the people from the Political Bureau, some of them who had left, are now in the cabinet. They are in the FDs. They are in the SPLM-IO. These people don't care. They don't care about anything. I don't see future reorganization of the SPLM, the expansion of the Secretariat, the expansion of the Political Bureau, or anything. Pagan Amom is in the bush and is still Secretary General of the SPLM. That is why we always have SP. We are not asking President Kiir now to reorganize the SPLM. SPLM Nyongorabetana Day is where we want to be put in so that we can do our part. Can I read Army Yakun cleaner? The SPLM Day, until a better SPLM come.
Thank
Because
you.
we are the people that are going to make it better. So
Thank
the
you.
time is now. It's not even tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The final one.
Yes.
Comrade Achille Bangol came back with the preparation of fish leaf in water. So read about it.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think that need a response at all.
Thank you. Ajituk. Yeah, you can take it down. Comrade Bol and Comrade Kenny, you have heard from Commander Achille, and I don't want to blow his cover if he's hiding it. But if he's not hiding it, he is the advisor to the Secretariat of Popular and Syndicated Organization in the SPLM. So basically, if he said that dialogue is constitutional, then then there's nothing else. I would ask Comrade Achille to convene one tomorrow, immediately, and you would have ended this. The issue here, what I don't understand, is why it is constitutional and took all these years, including Lobanok and including the last 6 months, we have served the Secretariat with a document. Comrade Achille blamed the Secretariat for failing to implement the Constitution and observing the right of the Red Army in wanting or demanding dialogue in peaceful means. We have not used any illegal ways. And if we apply any illegal way, then the means will be justified because of inaction. The first thing that would come into question is how did the Red Army get to where they are? And will provide all evidence that we have tried this, we have tried this, we have tried this. Therefore, we resorted to what we thought was possible for us. And in this, I don't know if it's not illegal for the Red Army to form a political party out of the SPLM. I don't know any other illegal ways. We have called for holding a press conference against inactivity of the SPLM is not illegal. Well, let me not even put any words into your mouth. You have not really, I don't think you've said that the Red Army is doing anything illegal, completely, 100%. You've not said that. And also, you have just supported our position. So thank you. You as an official of the SPLM, kindly advise your secretary, the one that you advise, that SPLM Red Army League, the one that you helped create, okay, has been pulled out of the SPLM, call it back and call its members and the members of the foundation and sit with them and hear them out. You would have solved this problem. That's it.
Thank you.
I don't know why you have not done it all this time. And that is the problem that we have with the SPLM. Yet you know what is supposed to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Peter, do you have anything?
No, I think we will let Comrade Bol go. It was not necessary to respond to Commander Achille. If Commander Achille and you two as an advisor to the Secretariat, if you guys want to duel it out, we would have a particular time to do that. but we are actually inviting Commander Achille on his principal time. If you want to come and respond to chairman, otherwise we are open at any time, because we are here. Junub Sudan have a voice. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation, your tribe, whatever you stand on. All we need here is to have your voice heard. That's all. Finally, Nuri was able to connect. But Bol, this is my suggestion. If someone want the audience, if they want to respond to Comrade Bol, give them a floor for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and that way we will end the show. But I would love to hear back from Commander Achille.
We are going to invite our brother Commander Achille not in this talk about.
No, not now.
There are good things that we are.
Commander Achille is coming.
Okay, let's leave that alone because we don't want to bring his name a lot into this. What he was right was just applied to the Red Army. Thank you, everybody. Ben Nuri, your phone was a little bit hectic, but thank God that you have come. Because we had been here for a very long time, we will quickly give you the floor, Ben Nuri.
Oh man.
By both, if you have a last word, you can wrap it up and we'll let you go.
I think we are done. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say that you guys should not worry about my interaction with Commander Achille. Commander Achille is an intellectual. He's a researcher. He's an ideologue. We have debated several times, and I'll find him in Juba. We'll debate more. He's a huge supporter of the Red Army, and if we come to the secretariat, if we are utilized at the secretariat, we will make his work easy or easier. He's one of the people that we are going to make proud, and he's one of the people that we are going to help a lot. And therefore, there's absolutely no problem. He always give us something to think about, and I appreciate his comment, and I understand also his level of thinking and even the way he was writing. So don't worry. This is somebody I debate constantly.
Chairman, we are not worried at all. We were talking about something that we are doing that he advised us to do, which is something very important. It's nothing to do with the Red Army. That's what we were talking, and we will bring him one day to the show because of some good thing that he's advising us to include in our show.
He can do
Thank
really
you
well.
for that.
He can advise
Nuri,
well. Yes.
Then hold on. It's just one question from Nuri, and also do Mukadwe, because the leaders of the people, as you are a leader of the people. So Nachara and team you can pull the tea, Naikra Yamiti Kabugjan. Nuri, come on.
No, Nuri, Nuri, how are you? Long time.
Inja most Deng did I?
Look at you, my brother. It's been a while. You take that in. You are still wearing your tie and your glasses. What about the headphone? Can I chop up in that? You are lying down, my brother. This is a very serious show. There was a declaration here.
Chopping a benai and get chopper. Naturally serious and get chopper.
What is your question, my brother?
Wet the Nangbolma Kur, Peter Kenny. I loy pe the chiloi. Chalwell and media gonna be a national media. A lot man again national media. And get Chalwell on. ki bayan na no ke korbalo Iran ke subject to scrutiny, is subject to debate. Inchi ben man in Deng bol Iran win very popular nationally. Kuna kwana korbalo piyam teletin. Ekene akora chanen banang courage. Idea che ben is subject to critical analysis. Chanen kene ketia kene ke bai. So alwelo aduna reach media. Na jabe media chiman china be media kenyi abetiat pin terbenam kwa be analyze. Nanong flaws tatin eka be cake analyze. Nanong weakness tatin eka be cake analyze. Nanong areas because on a stronger side ke citizen eka be analyze. So duna reach media kuman china be media je we are subject to debate. When get thereby, can be idea, can be criticized, can be accepted, can be questioned. Kene ke chaba, can yini to. Abraham from the Set Institute, anong idea den chibe nyalaya. Ko idea kene, a Louis debate money by citizen of South Sudan. By long junub kujala long agir opposition war che are disappointed can function of the government ideas can lui ke debated uka lui ke criticize kind of thing so nanong idea je ben can yin ka idea can abe criticize ka be debated when I think in gabia beauty bita South Sudan acha nang wer kelwen South Sudan a democratic nation akin go lotne lakin ab lotne tenang ko tolerant when ideas be ke ga debate to wala canting fa idea ko jabe fi media akan ko ju be debated ko ko ju be criticize ku leg media en ga ina en ga irrelevant acha en be web bay ku be keto ngagnom idea to ngagnom bitaw tarbedam could be yen viewers be analyzed, could be citizen be analyzed, kind of thing. I can get ben by ben at 20, kind of thing. Yena bu jalting, e can buy coin, yena bu kai lui, yena bu kai yen proper inclusivity, kind of thing abu jalting gane. Lekin ki ben e chan yena na jagada bay fi media, ki non courage we ready achan but citizen baga convince we ready achan ana the idea be criticize kene ge chaba ku leg state aloy loy pedret ku loy kene ge chibai when ge chebram chibai war kwa ko ka be ge bay ko no ideas ken to pin ku akin ge gwa bay nyal gut che general war ga ke ben ben non ko je bentin general wa chi revere ben tar by abaga bay leg state media abaga bay so yen leg state lor kaga bay lakin dog riyo tinong en vision chi ben gan yin e we dog riyo dun be riyo media jel ngeng banang karaj media ana media en ga lebe citizen choy land kwen ga lebe ka shopping kind of thing yena kan go dede cái chi choi disappointed kana ke queen ke katia kana citizen so ena ba jaltit ku chiman ko ka betit ye kenen chi choi disappointed ke cha ping red am ye jamin ana da chika marginalized lekin achinda cha ping ene chin jam tin Abraham chi jam nana denu leadership cha fail ku leadership cha fail ko be queen cha fail de cha fail de queen ngai chi ben ge victim ye motanin to rural area ke ben ge victim wala kota fi urban area ke ben ke victim, wala freedom fighters ke ben ke victim, wala farmers ke ben ke victim, wala women ke ben ke victim, wala children orphan ke ben ke victim ikina kin ragwa de tinin kan luel ko kin ebrem kin luel kan ting opposition ben ki luel e interest den en ga yiki luel ku ki luel le ngadi ya fail chi ben luel watch ya fail president of the republic actually watch ya fail achi secretary general pagana mama chile watch ya fail achi kwal manyang luel chile watch ya fail achi awira ku luel watch ya fail achi chairman of the red army achi luel watch ya fail that language a language ko juchi luel red kind of thing. So I don't know in a very common ten quite pe juba wala ten ko win freedom fighters one person in a thinking would say okay now because I fail then why are we not finding a success a failure kana tingu kene ga cha ka ju bo cha nen bia ping ka ya galwel so kene ga bayan dog rech media non karaj ku be bai bre chok ping so ke cha lwela ken go ping abe ping ale kuin kin go ngokaret na le jaya le tarin ngokaret yin kin go ngokamane so en ge ki bayan cha nan karaj kuin ge ki bayan cha nen be lek media ba be en encouragement be ga bay ko be ko ju un ko nang vision be ke bay so am ko jada
Nuri,
yeah
Nuri. Uh,
yeah
hang on, Mr. Chairman. It, you, you actually you let down some of our viewers because everybody is eager to hear what Comrade Nuri is going to say, but we said it all in Dinga. And all the complaint and the comment down there are all you should have speak English or Arabic. I'm sorry, but um, I am sure a lot of people would have given you a sum up, but I just want to let you know. I
Thank you.
think I think Balding, what will happen? We'll definitely let you go. If you want to respond to Nuri, that's fine. It's up to you. But you are really tired, and we have to let you go and we'll come back.
I want to respond to Nuri just a little bit.
Okay.
Nuri is being tactical because
He's always talking.
yes, because if he condemns the Red Army, I would ask him to just tell me how the Red Army has done ever since. Don't tell me where were you in 2005? Where were you in 2011? Where were you in 2014? Again, even in your own house, even for you to argue with your brother, your mother, your father, there are times that you let things slide. They slide. And Nuri is right. As I speak to you and Kenwok, because we can be to your cat. Especially when we leave and become another party, SPLM will have a lot of problems because we know everything about them. We know what they could have done right. And if they will have to account to us. The good thing about us as Red Army is that the failure of this nation is not on us. We are not the ones leading the country. We are just supporting. We are not the ones who determine how the money can be used. We are not the ones who determine which program should be implemented. We are not the ones holding judiciary. We are not the ones holding parliament. Just like what has happened. It is not the Red Army that has been taken to be a speaker. And then you would blame the Red Army. It is not the Red Army who is the SG. The Red Army are just, they are not in so much of the leadership positions. Some of the Red Army who have been given opportunities are doing well. I'm proud of Comrade Majanga Ake. He's doing well, he's Red Army. And I went to him and I told him, yeah, Comrade Majang, if there's a problem, I'll call you at night. I'll call you at night. And even if I call him now, he will pick my call. He's a Red Army. And every time I want to consult him on something, or I tell him what is wrong, I won't tell him what is wrong. He's always on it. He calls me back if he misses the call. If I invite him for a function, he comes. That is the kind of cooperation that I want to see among the Red Army. And who among us is greater than Majangake? He's a general. He's a 4-star general as we speak. So that's something to be proud of. That does not mean the Red Army have all come up. No. That's just like 0.00%. You see? But we are proud of where he is. All the senior Red Army are people I talk to on regular basis. And these are people, if they mess up, I will confront them in the middle of the day. But it's very difficult for me to confront Comrade Kwalmanyang, Comrade Awera, Comrade Wani, Comrade Salva Kiir Mayadi. You see? Or let's say someone like Comrade Jema Nunukumba. Those are different kinds of people. But if they are Red Army, I would confront them. So one day, when we are many in the government and many in the leadership position, we will not, these things will end. Because we will tell ourselves that this is not what we fought for. So, Comrade Nuri, you are right. I am holding, because my intention is not to destroy the image of our leadership and our party. Still my party. Okay? Still my leadership. Still my everything. Just like I said, even if we move, we are going to move with all these leaders. When we have our events, even the launch of our party, if it turns out to be, we'll invite them. President Salva Kiir will be the guest of honor and patron, as he is always, because the party is not built against him. He's still the one in charge of the Red Army. And of course, I think he can win twice. Okay, he will be like a leader of two parties. It will work out for him and other people. What will not allow him to do in our party is this issue of appeasement, recycling, integration, condoning rebellion, pardoning people and all this. There are certain things that we'll accept from him, and there are certain things we'll say no. Please take them to the SPLM, to the mother party, because that's where those things can be entertained. But in our Red Army party, no. We will run it the way you were running the SPLA during the war. That's it. We will probably even ask him, how were you doing it during the war? You would advise us. And we'll do it exactly like he did. Thank you, gentlemen.
Nuru, you want to say some, or are you okay so we can close it?
I think we in the media, sometimes we tend not to come back to the media, but whenever there is a very sexy idea, sexy vision, we will be showing up. I think the month of August is going to be a very interesting month. Because so many ideas are coming up. The month of August is also a month that is tainted with dark history. When you go back to 90s, that was the month, that's when the movement was stopped at the back very severely. So whenever you cite or you may or propose to do anything in the month of August, any human being who had lived during the movement would always become alert and stay alert about what exactly that colleague and freedom fighter want to do in the month of August. So the month of August is going to be a very exciting and very concerning month, and very fearful month, So I do not want to question why our freedom fighters and people who have done research wanting to do either uprising or either protest or either demand, wanting to do or to carry out any national activities in the month of August. It is something that I will reserve my insight, but I'm calling for people with ideas, with demand, to have courage to face the media and to face any critique that would come from citizens of South Sudan. And Lake State Media, I would be here to bring anybody with any national idea, whether controversial or not controversial. I think that's my encouragement, and it would be really interesting to experience what would be happening in the last week of August. It would be really interesting. So I would encourage Lagos State Media to keep up with the good work. And it was really nice to see you, brother Dengbol.
Yes, you are right.
And I think we will be interesting things happening. My
Thank you.
concern is any leader who would be siding with civilian in the rural population, because rural population they need a good life. They need a life that is meaningful to them. All right, but you can imagine so many demands are coming up in the month of August, which is very fascinating. I don't know if everybody is seeing that, but I am seeing it with a military standpoint, civilian standpoint, or civic standpoint, or historical standpoint. These things are coming up now in the month of August. All right, the month of August has also a dark history when we go back as far as movement was concerned, a revolution was concerned. This is what really fascinating for me to see this reaction happening in the month of August. This demand, national requisition being asked for in the month of August. It would be really interesting just to see how the month would end. If
Thank
it
you.
ain't like a red card movement, because there was something that came up few months ago or maybe last year, red card movement, and people were secretive about it. Maybe this time people will not be secretive about this, because secrecy may not help people anytime. But if people are open about it, it may lead to somewhere. So thank you, Lake State, and keep up the good work. And my advice to people who are demanding for change, they're leaders. And if you're a leader, don't be afraid of media, because that's why South Sudan fought for democracy and free society. That's what I would say. Have a courage to face the media. Have a courage to tolerate criticism.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Ball. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank Comrade Nuri. Nuri, that is a very interesting perspective, because I did not look at it that way. This was a coincidence. In fact, we were planning for the Red Army, the first Red Army National Convention, beginning the 26th, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th. We were going to close it on the 29th. It was the Vice President who was going to open it on the 26th. The Red Army will have 2 days of deliberations, and then we would close it. We'll close it with the Red Army 3 days of deliberations, and then the Red Army Day was going to be the closing day. And this is where we were going to assess whether it is viable for us to continue to be subjected to humiliation in the SPLM, or if we can forge a new beginning with the leadership of the SPLM. All our former commanders, our former teachers, caretakers, and camp managers and the leadership of the political high command. You know what people do not know is that even in our constitution, the hierarchy of the Red Army Foundation leadership begins with President Salva Kiir Mayardit as patron and commanding officer, deputized by Dr. Yak Machar, and then Comrade James Wanida, Comrade Aweda Good, Comrade Paul Manyang. These are the honorary board. I am just a chairman. So when you look at it, this is just, when this is a family matter. So what we are fighting for here is, why are we suffering and having to demand what belongs to us, our birthright in the movement? That's why I don't worry about this. It is not uncommon to argue with your mother or your father. You can even move out of the house if you are not happy. Anyone who is going to make this a big deal is the problem to South Sudan. Also, the month of August, like you've just said, yes, it is the month where the Torit mutiny, Torit revolt, or the 18th of August happens. So happened also the day that Dr. Riek Machar declared his political party. But the only thing that I say that is probably different here, it is only the PCC day that I don't know what is going to happen. But what we have on the 30th is not an event. It is just an expiration date of our engagement with the SPLM. It will automatically end. It will expire. If it is not renewed, it will automatically expire. And if the month of August is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is 31 days. So the month of August is 31 days. Therefore, on the 31st of August, if we have not talked to the SPLM, well, our contract would have officially ended. Our rules of engagement would have officially ended. And on that day, on the 31st, is that when we were going to sit down as Red Army and say, hey, SPLM doesn't give a damn. So what is the next course of action? If we want to swallow our pride and go to the SPLM and say, well, whatever, you don't want us, but whatever, which is most unlikely. It's not possible. There's nothing that can happen like that. Then that's it. If we say, okay, this is something we already knew, why? So what is the problem? It's a democratic state. So let us begin to work on our own party. Then we will begin to go through the legal process of registering our political party, and then begin. And that's it. And we'll bless the SPLM, and we'll compete over ideas and people. That is all. There's nothing really, there's no problem here. So ours as Red Army, it is unfortunate that we are saying all this in the month of August, but maybe it was destiny, because nothing was really planned. So, Comrade Nuri, maybe it is destiny, and maybe it's a good thing. Yes, because one good thing happened in the month of August before, and that was the 1955. If 1955 had not happened, there wouldn't maybe have been an agreement to be dishonored of 1972, and then there would have been no agreement dishonored, and then there would have been no 83 and all this. So maybe if there is something that is like that, then so be it. That maybe the 31st of August we will declare ourselves a new political party. Then the month of August is a good month for us, because it will give us an opportunity to stop crying and start working. Because it is very difficult to having to ask people who probably are not interested in working with you or who are afraid to either engage you or afraid to share the same room because you know more than them, you can do work better than them. Everything we do in the SPLM, by the way, and this is very embarrassing, everything we do, an event of one day kills the SPLM and makes them look like they have not been doing anything. So we need to be given that legitimacy of doing things for the SPLM when we are not seen as visitors. The reason why is that if a visitor is like my brother, Nuri, that you are married and your wife is in the house, and a woman continue to come to the house, to your house, dressed up, looking more beautiful, maybe than your wife. That can create some problems in the house. You understand? Maybe that's the problem. But if that person lives in the house, if the most beautiful woman is a daughter or a sister, then there is nothing to worry about because there is no competition there. So the Red Army is a beautiful girl who is knowledgeable and educated, has better teeth, and has better manners. So sometimes those that are not well dressed and those who do not feel rightful in that place feel out of place. And this is what is killing the Red Army. But we'll overcome it. If we have become the insecurity in the SPLM, we'll move out. If we can be accepted with our beauty and knowledge so that we can equally work together and serve our people, then it's acceptable. I thank all of you. And like I said earlier, you're very careful. Thank you for not blindly, like many other people, criticizing us. And that's the problem with South Sudan. People do not know what the heck the Red Army has been through. This is the least the Red Army can do, to ask the leadership to give them a chance to serve the nation. There are many things the Red Army can ask. So, thank you. The nation stands with the Red Army.
Yeah, my interest here is not to shut down any vision, even controversial vision. We have somebody now who has signed on behalf of the diaspora population. And I think Lagos State media would be trying to bring that person. We have somebody who has signed, according to a spokesperson for the people, according to Abraham Awali, who has signed on behalf of diaspora. It would be interesting if Lagos State can bring Edward a check to present his insight. Okay, because that media is here to make everybody understand, to make the people of South Sudan understand. All right, it's not the enemy of the people. All right, so you are not alone, my brother, as far as how finding the solution within South Sudan is concerned. There are so many people who are coming up with so many ideas, and the role of the media is to make sure bring those people, display information. The people of South Sudan will make their judgment. They will choose whom they want to have as their leader. If they want to continue with the current presidency, they will have right to do so. If they want to go with an alternative government, they will have right to do so. The role of the media is to make sure you bring those and make the information become available. So I'm not here to to shut down a beautiful insight that you'll be bringing in later on. All right. If Lagos State did not bring you, we would have not known how you feel about how things are going in Juba. We would have not known that the month of August is in your mind. We would have not known the comparison, because anything to do with 30th, that was the day the hero, the chairman of the party, unfortunately die. And a lot of people are always fascinated by putting events on the 30th. This is another interesting thing that usually happen. The day Dr. John Garang died, confirmed as no longer with us, was declared on the 30th. All right, 30th of July. It is now becoming a kind of a specific day that anybody with a vision wanting to associate anything to do with 30th with that particular tragic incident. We're not here to tell anybody don't choose the 30th, but it is very interesting why people would be interested in picking the day, the 30th, in this particular situation. So we will leave it like that, but the month of August is going to be quite interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nuri. Mr. Chairman Deng Bol, we are very excited for you come today to join us in the Lake State Media. Peter, we are very happy that you are here with us. Nuri, I thank you for coming in to give thanks and also to talk about how the idea of Deng Bol coming to Lake State Media, how is it? It's good that we have heard from Deng Bol, and also we thank you for thanking us with the job that we are doing. We will be looking for the one who signed up for the diaphragm, and we'll bring him. And we'll be looking for other things. We're going to bring Deng Bol back. We are going to bring Abraham Awolich back. We will be doing that. So thank you so much. Peter, can you go make a final statement and you close it?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Nuri, Bolmakur, also our fans and the viewers and the people of South Sudan as a whole. Yes, we are here for you. We are here as your voice. Whatever your political affiliation, your opinion is your opinion. And if you want to be heard, you are welcome anytime. And suddenly, we have been accused from left, right. And we really don't care. We really don't care. It doesn't matter for us. And I think it could be the case, the same thing to politicians, the same thing to social group, and other people that have said in things that are pertaining to Sudan. If you are afraid, if you don't want to talk to people because you are going to be criticized, because you are going to be called from left, right, then you are not man enough. You shouldn't have a say of what you want to say in the first place. Again, thank you for your courage, Mr. Chairman, and wish you the luck. I wish you the best with the Red Army as well. We are always here if you need us, and also we will be happy if someone from the government of South Sudan as well or the ruling party respond to you. They are welcome anytime. And if they need an invitation, official invitation, that's fine. We'll be happy to do that. Again, I will let you go. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Paul Marco. Thank you, Nur. As always, we need to catch up sometime. It has been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.